Hello and welcome to Invasive Weeds in Rangeland Species Impacts and Management. My name is Robina Downey and I am your presenter this evening. Many people don't realize how much area is dedicated to livestock in the United States. According to DiTomaso, about 42% of the lower 48 states' landmass is dedicated to pastureland or rangeland. 3/4 of the livestock raised in the U.S. rely on rangelands to provide fodder. Rangeland in the U.S. is a very wide variety of areas, from the coast to the desert, from the mountain meadows to dry plains. As domestic grazing has continued over the years in many places, the quality of the rangeland has dropped. The consistent overgrazing has given weeds an opportunity to invade, as many bunch grasses don't respond well to continuous season-long grazing. The main grazing animal in the United States is cows. Weeds in rangeland and pastureland are estimated to cost about $2 billion annually, more than any other pests combined. So this article is a literature review of weeds. I chose it because I was looking for something that really showed a broad-based approach to weeds and their impacts to rangeland and how to treat them. Because this is a literature review, it's focusing on the broad-based issues weeds can cause in a rangeland. So it doesn't have a strong focus on an individual weed, but it does function as a great overview for the topic of weeds in rangeland. So, as an overview, weeds that grow in the range and pasturelands, there isn't really a specific type of weed that causes problems, as weeds can be grasses, forbs, or shrubs, and they don't have any general duration. They can be annual, biennial, or perennial. As you can see in the chart taken from the article, weeds are divided into two categories in this article: native and introduced. Natives can become considered weedy in rangelands because the bunch grasses, especially rest of the Rocky Mountains, don't handle grazing very well. They don't have good seedling vigor and they don't recover well from grazing. In those areas, plants that are not preferentially grazed can quickly start to dominate the site as the bunch grasses diminish, the unpalatable shrubs or other plants will begin to take over. A similar process can occur with introduced species. As the native bunch grasses are diminished or consumed, an introduced species can be quickly established and spread. So the issue with weeds in rangeland has been shown that they reduce species richness, they can cause an increase in fire activity, they can cause the native animals to not use the area. The weed infestations can increase runoff and because weeds don't often have a lot of above ground matter like the native plants do, they don't contribute much organic matter to the soil, and they often have much deeper roots than native bunch grasses, so they don't help the soil retain moisture like the natives do. So there's lots of potential solutions for weeds in rangelands. An integrated management approach is necessary because of the many problems that people have with weeds. So there's options for control, physical control measures like pulling, hoeing, grubbing, mowing, and chaining, cultural control measures like adjusting grazing levels to mild or moderate intensive grazing to overcome preferential grazing, or mixed grazing that incorporates more animals that eat a broader variety of desirable and undesirable plants, biological controls, introducing a species that eats the invasive weed, chemical controls, spraying the weeds with pesticides. But really the best control is prevention, and prevention measures include, education, weed monitoring programs for susceptible areas, and controlling grazing before weeds become dominant in that area. Question 1. Imagine you are given management authority over an area infested with that annoying annual Bromus pectorum. Would you ignore the weeds, go full bore on controls, or chart a middle path? Why? Question 2. Imagine I am a person who has historically had unfettered grazing access to my allotment. Try and sell me on why I should agree to change my grazing patterns. What do you think could be the most persuasive argument in favor of change? Question 3. Prevention of the establishment of introduced weeds is one of the most important parts of weed control. What prevention strategy do you think would be the most effective and why?